Oh, baby, it's a good time with this one D&D stuff. There's so much to talk about, so much to get into, so much hype for all of this. I hope you probably see it in my videos of just how excited I am about one D&D and this concept of taking all the editions, being like, no, don't have to worry anymore about edition switches and when's 6th edition coming out. When are all my books going to not be useful anymore? I think it's an absolutely beautiful and brilliant decision and direction that they're going in. A lot of the stuff in the Unearthed Arcana is so exciting, and honestly, where I've kind of been going already. So we're synced up there, and I absolutely love that. So buckle up, stay for this ride, because we're apparently going in the right direction. So you made the right choice if you're coming along with us, I guess, right? And I would love to see what you guys think about all this type of stuff too, to keep furthering the direction of all the content that we make every single month. Because every single month I give my patron stuff. There's stuff on my website that's all towards this direction. So if you're liking any of that stuff and what I'm saying here, go check that out. But getting into this thing, I already did a full breakdown of the character creation stuff. I did a response video, and I did a natural 1 versus natural 20. So if you're interested in the natural 1 versus natural 20 thing, which is going to be in here, I'm going to touch on it a little bit. You can go check out that whole video. I had multiple rants about inspiration and about the natural 1, natural 20 thing. That's its own video. Oh man, I got hyped. I still got to calm down from that. But let's dive right in to this Unearthed Arcana. Link for this will be in the description if you want to kind of go through it with me. Again, we already went through all of the stuff up here about all of the different feats and character creation stuff, right? So rules glossary, right? First of all, arcane spells, divine spells, and primal spells. Oh, is it primal? I just want to make sure. Is it primal? Grappled? Primal spells. Yes, I love it. I absolutely love it. I and myself in my games have already separated, and usually I do arcana checks are things dealing with the arcane. Religion checks are things dealing with divine stuff or hellish stuff or negative energy, positive energy, planes type stuff, right? And then I've done nature for nature magic, right? They have done again the same thing with arcane. I feel like somebody was the coach. You got to come talk to me, man, because we are synced up on so many levels. This is so exciting. Arcane spells, yes, arcane, bards, sorcerers, warlocks, wizards. Although warlocks, I could see dipping into divine as well on the other end of divine, like the evil side of divine. I think there should be a little bit of duplicity there as far as that goes. But anyway, arcane, yes, cool, awesome, love it. And then the other parts, there we go. Divine is clerics, paladins, all that kind of stuff. Again, warlocks on the evil side of divine, I think should be a thing as well. And then primal is a really cool thing that they have. Primal is druids and rangers. Absolutely love it. I never thought to call it primal, but I like the name. It sounds freaking cool. And there's like a ancient nature history to it. So cool. I think more dinosaurs when I think primal, just for myself. But that's probably because I love dinosaurs and my son loves dinosaurs too. Okay, cool. Anyway, so getting back to it, arcane spells, I love the separation. I already do the separation whenever I make checks of some kind. I have them kind of go into those schools, and I love the separation at the spell level as well. So you have types of spells as far as arcane, divine, and primal, and then you have schools of magic. So, oh man, all of the possible intricacies and weavings together. Absolutely love it. I'm super excited about that. Tools, creature types, nothing too exciting there. D20 test. I talked about this in the full video, so I'm not going to go into it now, but any D20 roll is now called a D20 test. I'm not the biggest fan of the word test. I think it might come from my teaching background where everyone hates, a test today. Oh, a test. We didn't know we had a test. It's probably my scarred teaching roots coming out there. But I like that they are referring to it. I always call it a D20 roll when you make a D20 roll. So calling it a test, it's not my favorite name, but I like the concept of it. And it's going to be very clear moving forward when they're talking about things affecting a D20 test. It's anytime you roll a D20. So yes, love that overall. Rolling a natural 1's always a failure. Rolling a natural 20 is always a success. I couldn't agree more with this. I went on a full rant. My throat sore from even how much I ranted and was ranting, literally full ranting about how awesome that is and how much I truly believe in that. But then I stopped immediately when it says a player also gains inspiration when rolling a natural 20. No. God, no. No. Oh, no. Never. No, this should not be a thing. This is my... I have been either cool with or loved everything that they've put out. This is the first and only thing that I hate. I hate this. I will not be doing this. No, 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 no. A natural 1 and a natural 20 are enough. It is the craziest. A natural 20 is the biggest, awesome, most best thing ever. You don't also need to give them inspiration, right? Like, if you won the lottery, you won the lottery, and we're giving you this car. No, oh, okay, give the car to second place. why are you also, it's enough, right? So all the players at the table, it's snowbally and over the top if you give them a natural 20 and you give them an advantage, or give them an inspiration die, or gain an inspiration on the character sheet or whatever. And then there's a weird moment too where if they already had inspiration and then they got inspiration again and then they can only have one, well, that kind of feels bad. So then the natural 20 kind of feels bad and it takes a little bit of the wind out of the sail. I don't know, I don't like it. Please take that out, just in general. Okay, cool. There's my rant over with that. Critical hits, right? I thought this was an opportunity for D&D to come in and like, ooh, critical hits. All right, the critical hits suck in Dungeons and Dragons right now. So what are they going to do to protect against are they going to add crit insurance like I've done in my videos? No, there's no crit insurance. In fact, it's just worse. Mace deals bludgeon. It just adds an additional dice. So 1d6 plus your strength modifier turns into 2d6 plus your strength modifier. So you have one extra dice. So in a potential hypothetical situation where this d6 is a 6 out of 6, that'd be 6 plus your strength modifier. Whereas what if you roll double ones here? That's a 2 plus your strength modifier. So you've now dealt less damage with a crit than you did with a normal hit. This just feels bad. And I feel, this feels bad. I have plenty of videos. Comment below if you want to see a full critical video. I literally have it slated for filming it at some point, but it's just more things keep coming up. Of every single possible homebrew for critical strikes. If you want to see that video, let me know. But I've done multiple things on critical strikes. In general, how I run critical strikes is the massive criticals where each type of damage dice gets maxed. So for myself, this is your normal hit, 1d6 plus your strength modifier. If you crit with that, it would be this plus this dice maxed. So a 1d6 maxed would be 6. So you do 6 flat out the gate, plus whatever your normal hit would be. So it's guaranteed to be bigger than any regular hit, right? Same thing is true for monsters though, so stay true to that. But if you have a monster that's like a dragon that deals 4d6 damage, the 4d6, you would roll the 4d6 plus the modifier, and then you would max out one of those d6. So a rogue with sneak attack doesn't max out all of those. No, you just take one dice, max it, okay, cool, and then you go from there, right? So anyway, and now, you also roll the dice for it. So that's I guess to go into that. All right. So if you roll 4d6, you would roll 4d6 plus the normal dice. You would take one of those whenever you double the dice. Here's the other 4d6. Now there's 8d6. You would roll that like normal. You would take one of these, max it, and roll the rest of them. See what I'm saying? So instead of 4d6 going to 8d6, right, which is what the rules as written would be, 4d6 goes to 8d6 and you just roll all of those. I do that, but I max out one of them in the same way that I maxed out one of these 2d6s, if that makes sense. Again, I could do a whole critical video and with like all the production having numbers and stuff all coming up on the screen, but these videos I just wanted to kind of keep it a little bit more surface level. Probably talked about crits already too much. Okay, time out. I just found out some more stuff about crits. I kind of just assumed everything was fine and normal, the same, and I didn't think of what it did say or didn't say and all this kind of subtleties here that other people caught on that I've seen. And actually there's critical strikes. Wait, what? Dungeon masters can't crit? That's dumb. These are some more issues here. Dungeon masters not being able to crit? No, I'm going to crit my players, and I'm sure give them options for canceling crits or whatever like that. Okay, that's fine, and take some wind out of my sails or whatever, but I want to be able to crit my players. That is something that the fear at the table, the balance of that table, that's a crit. Like that moment, I can't lose that moment. That's crazy. Did they mean to do this? I don't know. That's weird. Spell criticals critting, that's fine. I'm totally fine with spells critting. No worries there. But another thing that I didn't really notice because of the example they gave also is not the best as far as the very limited scope. A lot of people are saying that sneak attacks don't double the dice, divine smites don't double the dice, all that kind of stuff. Okay, whoa. First of all, I think critical strikes should be a really cool part of combat. And if you don't think that, then sure, use these rules. Because again, this whole pitch that they're doing, this whole playtest, honestly, this whole new edition is just going to be new options for your game that you can take or not, right? On the 5th edition as the core, you can add it to it or keep staying what you've been doing or other things that I've posted here on this channel. But the whole concept of crits being just so minuscule and tiny, I don't think that should be. So for the Divine Smite thing, you would be able to, off of what I just said, you would have the Divine Smite or do the thing, you'd have the weapon, you'd max one of the dice from your weapon, and you'd max one of the dice from the Divine Smite. Each source of damage from that would be maxed. So if it's some sort of creature that has a claw with some poison, you would max one of the dice of the claw, max one of the dice of the poison, but you would still double the dice for what you're rolling. People want to roll a lot of dice. What are you doing, Wizard of the Coast? I don't know, this crit thing was sleeping on me. I didn't realize it, so I wanted to at least interject that here before y'all like, wait a second, I didn't catch it the first time, but I might have to do more on this whole critical strike thing. Divine Spell's cool, the gaming set cool, grappled. Speed 0, affected attacks. You have disadvantage on attack rolls against to any targets other than the grappler. That's all fine. Movable, you can move them and carry you around, but your speed is halved. You have the slowed condition, which they actually get into in the slowed condition. So a lot of, honestly, healthy changes for grappled, the slowed and incapacitated, and you can try and do escape and all that stuff. Incapacitated has a little bit more polish to it. Love that. And then there's also slowed condition is also tied in with that, and unarmed strikes all tie in together beautifully, honestly. And I'm excited for those grapple barbarians, grapple monks and stuff. 100% I'd be able unarmed strike for sure. I know it says strength modifier in here, so the unarmed strikes, your melee attacks involve your body and damage, grapple, shove, or reach, or grapple or shove a target within your reach, bonus to hit with an unarmed strike. Yes, boom. I would let monks be able to use their dexterity modifier for this, because I know a lot of times unarmed strikes and monks and stuff, and they can do a bunch of shoves and grapples and all that kind of stuff. Love it, love it, love it. Same with, I always see monks and barbarians being the grapplers and stuff. But sure, throw fighters in there too. But anyway, back to staying on track here. So I love the new stuff with the grappled condition and being able to kind of codify that a little bit better. Incapacitated, making it very clear that you can't take actions or reactions, because there was some confusion on that before in some of the phrasing. Inspiration. Gaining inspiration. I have a whole chapter 2 in Alcaner's Almanac. It's inspiration. I've talked about that before. The links for all that will be in the description, of course, but there's just so many different ways to run inspiration. I think I am worried about inspiration and them trying to weave it into the game, and if they don't do that well, it's hard, and most people don't use inspiration for understandable reasons. They haven't found the way, and that's my whole point in all of the stuff. So again, if you want to see about inspiration, let me know about that, and I will come up with I will show y'all the chapter 2 of Alcaner's Almanac, talking about inspiration, how to use it, and all that stuff. Because for me, I don't follow this. You can only have one instance of inspiration if you can't have more of it. I don't like that. I don't like that. My players can have multiple inspiration. And my inspiration system is a D6 that you add on to any D20 test. I'll go ahead and use their terminology for this. Any D20 roll you make, you can add a D6 onto it, and that's you using the inspiration to add to that roll. I have a whole theory as to why I like that better and all this other stuff, and that's a whole nother rant. So you can have multiple. But if a player has one, it's very easy for the bar that I have set for what I give out and for inspiration is very low for if you have no inspiration. Oh, cool, you got one. You get another one. And after you have two, to get the third one, it's harder than to get the first one. And the more you have, the less likely I am to give you one. And if you start stockpiling them, at some point, I'm just going to ignore you for inspiration purposes. What are you doing? Start using your inspiration dice. Why am I giving them to you if you're not using them? Right? So another whole rant for that. Losing inspiration. If you still have inspiration when you start a long rest, you lose that inspiration. Ooh. Wow. Right. In general, I don't like this. I don't like the inspiration thing. This is the second thing that I don't like is you lose the inspiration. Now, I guess like you're invigorated from this moment of inspiration and then your character's not anymore. But if I give inspiration for a cool character choice that someone did, and I'm putting a time clock on them for how much time they have to use that, if they are just finished up an adventure and they're heading back and they long rest, then there's no point to me giving them inspiration. That's dumb. And I don't like that at all. I don't think you should weave that into, I just don't think you should weave that into the game like that. And then tying it to long rest and you lose it, like gotta use it or lose it. I don't know. I love the inspiration system that I have. I think that is a great option for people to choose if you want to use an inspiration system like this. But my concern is in the entire thought process I had with the Alcaner's Almanac of having options is if you really pigeonhole it into how inspiration works and weave it into the game mechanics of how it works, then it's really hard to be open an option. So I like presenting inspiration as multiple different ways of options for inspiration. That being one of them, that's a great option if you want to take that option of having this takeaway. I've also seen inspiration be session based in a very meta type way, but I don't like that as well. So again, my own preferences are not y'all's preferences. Some of you would love this, but again, I want it to be presented as options. So anyway, long rests are pretty much the same as far as that goes. I thought there was a really interesting option for not having the characters regains all lost hit points. I just think that's dumb. A full heal. If you have 100 hit points and you long rest, you heal 100 hit points. Let's say you're at 1 health. You heal 99 hit points for sleeping for 6 hours or laying down even just for 6 hours. Like, come on. No. You just almost died. I don't know. So in general, I have a full video and a full PDF. It's all of the going on with videos free. You can check out the whole thing. I'm not going to go into all the rest systems, but short, long, and full rests. I have a whole video on that. I'll link that in the description. But long rests and hit dice, and it's just this I'm not opposed to. I totally see it. It's just not something I run. But there's long rests. I didn't know if they're going to go in a cool direction with that, but oh well. Primal spells, slow condition, we're talking about that. Tool proficiencies, tremor sense, unarmed strikes, talked about that. Spell lists. Really cool to see the differentiation between arcane, divine, and primal. So if you liked all this stuff, let me know what you liked. Let me know what you want to see more of. Let me know what you want to see me take and run with, because a lot of the comments that I've been seeing is y'all are hyped up. Overall, amazing job with what Wizard of the Coast is doing and the direction they're taking this in. I could not be more excited. And I want to say I am 98% all on board. The 2% is just really having to do with inspiration, honestly. So maybe it's 99% and it's just that one. The only thing I disagree on is the inspiration stuff. So I have a ton of inspiration ideas, topics, and concerns and topics, and I am going to, at this point, yeah, I think it's going to happen. Again, let me know, and it depends on how soon I make this, but I want to do a whole thing on inspiration because I think that is a huge missing part. I've done so much research, talking to you guys, talking to people that do use it, don't use it, how to use it, all that kind of stuff. And that's been my only concern here with one D&D is inspiration. So let me know what your all's thoughts are on that. I'd love to hype about all this kind of stuff, and I love to see what you guys want to see, because I also seen some comments about, yeah, I feel like they did this, all this is great. Now the few things that y'all have also said, yeah, I feel like Wizards dropped the ball on this. Well, trust me, I am going to be picking up that ball and running with it in a homebrew direction to give you guys options to be able to have multiple options to pick and choose from, to customize your game so you can keep staying creative, think outside the box. Peace.